It was a time how few would include stipulated at the end of 2017, a year in that Washington and Pyongyang sold threats of nuke war among reiterated polar Korean arms tests. Emerging party by party at a signature right next several hours of negotiations, Kim told This Planet will see a main changing, addition how the two men had solved to keep the history over. I believe our entire relation in polar Korea, He's departure to be a lot various position rather than it was in the history, Trump card told. Trump card added how he would completely welcome Kim to the White's building and how denuclearization would begin really rapidly. Handshakes and smiles. The right covered a wonderful episode of developments Tuesday in that Trump card and Kim put towards year of reciprocal animosity and mistrust. The two leaders began the summit conference by wandering to every some on a red-carpeted admission region of Singapore's Chapel Inn, trembling hands in front line of alternate US and polar Korean flags, time-blinking protected smiles. It was the at first period a meeting US CEO and polar Korean lead include always welcomed. Washington and Pyongyang include tested and unsuccessful to maintain some agreements on polar Korea's nuke program, but both of leaders include told the period is various, and they're staking their names and reputations on it. In spite the blood pressure, the two leaders emerging completely at ease, swapping pleasantries and at one spot emerging to stake a jest. Kim maybe seized the mood top. As he and Trump card walked on the inn's colonnaded, the polar Korean lead said Trump card, lot human beings in the planet will believe of the as a shape of imagination, of a scientific fictitious cinema. Trump card and Kim aimed the print party by party up incoming in more than official negotiations. Their chairs lightly crookedly to person every some and flags over them. It looked remarkably love any some meet how Trump card conducts in statesmen and visible planet leaders who trip him at the oblong office space. But the meet was in a man who fair recent year endangered to hit the US in a nuke gun. I sense very large, we're on to include a large debate, Trump card told following meeting downward following to Kim. I believe it will be terribly success, and he's my honor and we will include a amazing relation. I include no question. Tactful breakout. The Singapore Summit Conference is thing of a great final for Kim following months of tactful coverage how turned on meetings in the leaders of Southward Korea and China. The is such a strong time for the polar Korean human beings. It will be famous in polar Korea as the time the joint state recognized and purified polar Korea as an equivalent, told Gene Shelter, the CEO of the Korea Basis Center for Korean Story and Social Politics at the Woodrow Wilson World Center for Scholars. This polar Koreans, go of a really impoverished and really little nation. For the CEO of the joint state to fly cute lot part way about the planet to encounter their lead lends the nation so lot legality how it very much craves, told Shelter. But emerging party by party as equals risks legalizing Kim's mode, critics claim. The nation's terrible humane rights position and the 100,000 human beings believed to be concluded in gulag-like imprisonment were not anticipated to characteristic prominently in Tuesday's discussions. If the shake hands is the begin of a trial how can convert polar Korea and its relation in the external planet, it was required, told Adam Install, a elder comrade at the Federation of Us Scientists who focuses on polar Korea and nuke politics. Yet it is an picture how will be seen by the loved ones of polar Korean policy prisoners, defectors who escaped to liberty, despots about the planet examining their own nuke programmed. It is an picture how can never be undertaken behind. Trump card told he would give up humane rights for the summit conference, but the White's building has kept the key purpose is to get polar Korea to accept to the full, verifiable and permanent disassembly of its nuke program. Kim has told Sames readily to start a trial of denuclearization, but several analysts trust he's hardly same'll unilaterally offer up his nuke arms at the begin of any transactions. It has not been lightweight to go to the spot, Kim said reporters while the summit conference kicked off Tuesday night. To us the history has been keeping us behind, and old practices and prejudices include been cover our eyes and ears, but we include been capable to surmount all to come there present. provincial shifts. Northwest Asiatic powers stay hard-nested in the result of Tuesday's summit conference, particularly Southward Korean CEO Luna Jae-in and China CEO Xi Jinping, both of whom include already met Kim. Beijing, Tokyo, and Seoul all supporting the continuing dialogue among Pyongyang and Washington, but they include really various interests at act. Luna has played the part of interviewee among Trump Card and Kim, helped to set up which he named the meet of the age. Luna said his office didn't sleeping a winking the overnight up presence meet. China has length desired a peace decision to the meltdown on the Korean peninsula and has sequentially told it is opposed to Pyongyang's chase of nuke arms. These two countries include been opposed or though enemy to every sum for above part a age. How their leaders are capable to sit downward and include an equivalent dialogue present is of large importance and favorable importance in himself, China Overseas Secretary Wang Yi told Tuesday. But experts say Beijing values Polar Korea as a strategy clipboard among himself and us allied Southward Korea, that helps divert the joint state of strategy contest in China. But experts argue any decision to the meltdown on the Korean peninsula is far away, though if the summit conference is convicted as successful in the weeks to go. Fair months back, Trump card endangered to rainfall, flame and rage love the planet has never seen if Polar Korea extended to endanger the joint state. Pyongyang testing fired a flock of rocket technology in 2017, consisting 3 alleged to include transcontinental band, and a strong nuke gun. The Trump card authority prosecuted a politics comprising maximal blood pressure, hoping insulating the Polar Korean mode economically and diplomatically as it prosecuted its arms growth time as well manufacturing it precise the doorway was outdoor should Polar Korea select to conduct a way how implicated denuclearization. To see CEO Trump card and Kim Jong-un trembling hands cordially and conversation so readily was both of amazing and scary. He's a strong time how augurs a changing in the strained relation among these two countries, told Lee of the Wilson Center, yet it as well legitimizes the way Kim took to get there, house and test illegal nuke arms, how include the capacity to cause inconceivable destroying.